Step on down the dust of this Loxahatchee Road, where the environment is built of the unusual.
We built a couple of these boats. That's a Deucenaff, 1967 Kaiser.
Restored from the cast-off and positioned to be cherished.
Barbecue area, okay?
Every item here is carefully chosen by husband Mike Carroll and wife Dr. Ginny Sayer.
I believe they call it Class B cages here.
Even those of the fur and feather variety.
We've got a small zoo. We have one of everything. We have a cat and a couple dogs, a tortoise, pig and a rooster, and a horse.
So it might start to make sense.
I think so, yep.
How Mike and Ginny made a home here for a dog that looked so strange, she startled people at the shelter where Ginny works.
She sat down like this. It looked like a fire plug coming out of the ground.
Born with the extremely rare short spine syndrome, they called her Quasimodo.
Quasi was all about people. She never met a stranger.
A dog they grew to love so much.
Quasi was a big deal in our lives. Big deal at G&M Ranch, and a big deal all the way around.
They hired an artist to sculpt her likeness twice, right in their living room.
Yeah. It's so authentic that I put that collar on her, and it went in the same hole. The same hole. Can you believe it?
Well, dirt roads lead both ways, and Quasimodo led them all the way to the national stage.
TV cameras, bright lights.
She was named World's Ugliest Dog, which, as it turns out, is quite the honor.
She is pretty tall, probably about 5 foot tall.
As good pets do.
Yeah.
She became family.
And patrol the yard first thing in the morning, over and aggravate the neighbors a little. You know, routines are routines.
And then came the hardest day of loving a pet.
So real like.
Quasi was getting old.
That's her urn right there.
And was losing her balance.
The biggest day of Doc Ginny in my life was when we had to put her down.
Now, if you love someone enough, they never leave your heart.
And it's like losing a member of the family. You know, it was tough to let go of her.
You can never replace them, but you can let the love wash over you again.
All of a sudden, we're reliving old times. You know, she fit right in. He fit right in.
All the way from Houston, this was the right one to rescue next.
That face. He's trying to look at me and you at the same time.
Different breeds, different genders, different litters, and yet something so familiar.
And he is perfect. He's got good heart, good personality. He's just a little odd shape. So we got that tiny little short nose.
Momo was quickly nicknamed Quasimodo.
Love is where love is, okay? No explanation for it.
As it turns out, even when your heart gets broken, love can find its way through the cracks.
Sometimes when you think things only happen once in your life, it can happen again. So that was a positive. And that animals who aren't perfect make wonderful pets.
Especially when you get rescued by a dog.
Feeling of love, you know.
Ashley Walters, WPTV, News Channel 5.
For months, we waited for scenes like this.
You guys know what you want to drink?
A new normal we thought would never come.
Wine, 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 you're bobbing. Wine, 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 you're bobbing. Pull, pull, tap, tap, tap.
But inside this Boynton Beach home,
Past the time of day,
the waiting
a lot of waiting.
continues.
Hoping and hoping.
Joyce Fish
Yeah.
finds herself still waiting in her home
Yeah, pretty much.
for her new normal to begin.
This is it's my office. I usually have paperwork or stuff that I have to do here.
Since March 2020, 83-year-old Joyce
It's my go-to when there's nothing else on.
has been sitting on this couch,
We watch quite a few.
trying to find ways to pass the time with her husband Jack, of 62 years.
The psychological one. I don't know if I'm going to love it. So we would sit and watch TV.
Diagnosed with cancer right when the country shut down due to COVID,
If I don't like it, I shut it off.
Joyce has been stuck here for a long time.
My normal is not really what everybody else's normal is at this time. When you have a compromised immune situation, you can't just go about and do what everybody else is doing.
Barely able to see her kids, unable to see her grandkids.
This was the cruise picture, and this is the laughs are greater when we're together or whatever. So there we were together, and Dad and the baby, and Mom and the baby.
And hardest of all,
They're all adorable.
missing out on the birth of her great-granddaughter Dylan a year ago, a moment she can never recover.
Right, you can't hug and you can't kiss and you can't do the things that are natural. I'm alone, I feel I'm alone.
Alone.
Just have to be patient. Wine, 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 you're bobbing?
Luckily,
Wine, 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 you're bobbing. Wine, 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 you're bobbing. Pull, pull, tap, tap, tap.
Joyce did get to see Dylan from her couch
How pretty.
several times a week
You want to do creep them? Creep them, creep them, creep.
to make the waiting maybe just a little bit easier.
She smiles and she laughs.
FaceTimes over
Where's Mimi? I see you.
and over
Pretty soon she's going to take a step.
and over again
The wheels on the bus go round and round,
for the last year.
round, round and round. I told my granddaughter every day I want my smile of the day. So I have at least 365 pictures that made me smile. So those little things are what help you get through the rough times.
Who knows how many people share Joyce's rough times through COVID, a part of our lives that stole so many moments.
Bye, Dylan.
All Joyce could do was wait and hope
Bye-bye.
to eventually create new moments.
And I'm hoping that my condition will improve enough so that I can feel more normalcy in my activities.
And hope did come for Joyce in the form of a vaccine.
I'll do anything I can to be with the family, to see that cute little baby and kiss those little chubby cheeks. I can't wait to get up there. Right, that's true.
2 shots and a plane ride to New York on a Friday in June. Joyce held her great-granddaughter for the first time.
Oh, my little girl, you see?
Joyce waited 1 whole year for this.
I feel very blessed and lucky that I have been able to do this.
Everything she missed, Joyce took back in this exact moment.
You can't have a feeling, even though social media is wonderful, you can't have that special feeling unless you're touching someone and holding someone and being with them and seeing reactions and interactions. And I think that's what it's all about. It certainly feels a lot better than it has been feeling in a long time.
She made it through the rough times and finds herself finally in her new normal.
I did, and I'm grateful for that. I really am.
Alex Hagan, WPTV, News Channel 5.
My customers and the neighborhood as an extended family.
They do look good.
And they're coming out to help us out.
Hot, fresh rolls.
Living on sponge cake,
This one's all good.
watching the Sunday.
Food, music, and all our friends and family.
This is It Cafe, the place I eat every morning for breakfast.
I'm John Biderwolf. I own This Is It Cafe in Northwood Village. We had an electrical fire that happened at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Terrible. Just one thing after another.
You want 1 or 2 barbecues?
How many?
Place that our firefighters frequently have breakfast. Jason French, President, West Palm Beach Association of Firefighters.
Doing a chicken barbecue dinner.
A crispy skin, you know it's tender inside.
We have live music.
Might be my phone.
We're just trying to raise support for my staff and for the restaurant to bridge the gap between now and getting open in whatever amount of time that is.
So any support that the locals can give to him and the Biderwolf family
And
is
I appreciate you being here.
well worth
Tell
it.
you what, that looks like perfectly cooked chicken though.
Just does my heart good. Yeah, right here in my heart. I can't say anything more other than I really, really, really appreciate it.
Might be my
It's so cool.
The signs of what she loves
Kind of makes me feel free.
are all over her home.
Fire horse and ice wolf. Thought it would be really cool to paint.
10-year-old Layla Cowell
I really enjoy it.
loves to paint,
Drew's nature was gentle.
loves to read,
This is Vinny.
and loves to love
Yeah.
animals.
Horses are just so sweet, and I think I have a real connection with them. I love riding them. And wolves are just so majestic and beautiful.
She's rescued owls in the front yard, and indoors, she dotes on a cat, a dog, another cat, and of course, a fish named Wolf.
We couldn't figure out a better name for it.
And then there are the animals in the books she reads.
I like to read chapter books. I like to read books about horses and wolves.
She always picks animal stories when she's going through this drill,
I usually read here.
which she's done 27 times in the last year.
I do it about 3 times a month. I wish I could do it more.
Picking a book,
It's called A Whale of the Wild.
hopping on Zoom,
Hi.
and meeting a new friend to read to.
Oh, I think I remember them.
Today, those reading pals are cats, Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah, cool.
A little shy, but that's exactly why Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League's education manager, Shelley Kelmore, picked them.
I'm not so big yet. Not yet.
Because when kids like Layla
and my hunger comes roaring back like a winter storm,
read to pets,
it helps calm the cats and dogs.
It draws them out.
My family is sleeping.
Soothes them around people.
So much more.
And makes them more adoptable.
They don't really socialize well. But when I read to them, they allow Miss Shelley to pet them, or they go to sleep, or they're less skittish.
Of course, it helps Layla's reading skills too.
I know a lot more words. My vocabulary is much better.
Writing a happier ending.
My heart races. I've never been alone before.
For everyone.
I know. It's like perfect.
Underneath the Blue Heron Bridge in Phil Foster Park in Riviera Beach, people flock to the water.
I think we're pretty dialed in on gear.
And today's no different.
We're here to have fun. I'll help with that, whatever you guys need, okay?
The calming water is a stark contrast to the whirlwind the pandemic threw diver Will Stanton's way.
We've got to let everybody grow and spread their wings and back up.
Make sure everything's dialed in.
Out of it,
open up my eyes a little bit,
came Thresher Aquatics.
I'm a lot better in the water than I am in the land, so I'm looking forward to getting in there.
A nonprofit driven to providing adaptive scuba experiences.
And usually I will put up my hand like that. I do it as much as I can.
For the disabled community.
Whatever your jam is, we're going to take you diving.
We take people with all disabilities. Disabilities don't discriminate, and neither do we. Even people that just come up randomly, I'll try to give them a card, get them involved.
Stanton says the effort behind Thresher Aquatics
it just has helped a lot.
Was inspired by a special friendship with Christina Ford and her family.
Christina and I have been friends forever, and I spend every day with her. She's my sidekick. So we started this pretty much together. You can lay her down right there. She can swim fine.
Underwater.
How does it feel?
Good.
Ford and others defy gravity.
All right.
Incredible. Amazing.
And the confines of a wheelchair. And Stanton agrees.
An hour, 2 hours of your day, and you get no pressure on your spine whatsoever. So you're gravity free for, the first time in weeks or months, sometimes ever. Are you good for me to put this on?
The practice dive today is a drop in the bucket for Ford.
I have 300 dives. I've been diving for 7 years.
Beyond Riviera Beach, 20 of these divers have their sights set on a scuba trip to the Bahamas next month, sponsored by the Leeds Endowment.
Everybody's gone through a lot of empathy training to kind of understand the amount of faith that people with disabilities are putting into you to go down and do this.
Stanton says before then,
hamming it up, girl.
There's plenty for the others to learn. A brief escape from worries of a world flipped by the pandemic. And for Stanton,
it's amazing. I usually cry at least one time when we're diving. Just seeing everybody come together and do this.
A reminder we're all connected.
Get the chatters out.
An ocean full of tears of joy.
I love the water. I love what we do here.
And many dives left to go.
The smiles, the camaraderie that everybody has, it's just amazing.
In Riviera Beach, Chris Gilmore, WPTV News Channel 5.
On the corner of the Southdale Shopping Center in West Palm, you'll find Tony Pirano.
What's the phone number?
And Annette Candiano.
Okay, Hills, yes.
Working hard.
I think I spend more time here than I do at the house.
The dynamic duo holding down the fort.
Do as best as we can every day.
That is Danny's Shoe Repair.
Nobody has a negative experience here.
That family business, a community.
You got it.
Grew to love.
Thank you, honey. You have a good one.
They've just been a constant.
And it's the man behind the name.
He was a soul saver because he saved everybody's souls.
Danny Catalfumo, West Palm's longtime cobbler, who kept this place going.
It was all about family and about my dad taking care of all of his customers. If it was broken, my dad would try to fix it.
He created a family here.
It was like a father to me.
With Tony, Annette, and his customers. A family now heartbroken.
Yep.
With the loss of a legend.
We've all lost someone great.
Nearly 60 years ago, Danny opened up this shop.
If anything could be done to save something, he would save it. He's a pillar of the community. He was charitable in more ways than anybody can imagine and a kind heart.
Daughter Juliana grew up here,
And so I was always here. So this was like in probably 65.
watching her dad fix any kind of shoe, boot, or purse. Dan the Cobbler, as some called him, could remember every customer's name.
That's how smart his brain was. They should have put the brain in the Smithsonian.
They send boxes and say, just fix them and send them back.
But he is the shop.
Danny died Monday, and the future of his repair shop
Oh, you got another one.
is now uncertain.
This shop, unfortunately, will die with him. I mean, he'd wanted it to be passed on. We're going to either sell or close. A decision will be made like December 1st.
Until that time, Annette and Tony will be here,
Now there's Tony and I working.
trying to live up to the legend that is Danny Catalfumo.
There's nobody that could ever replace him.
No matter what happens to his shoe repair shop, its name and its cobbler lives on forever in this community.
It's like an institution. It'll be here for the next 50 years, regardless what happens.
In West Palm Beach.
People always talk about my dad.
Alex Hagan, WPTV, News Channel 5.
So obviously we're decorated for Christmas. I'm a Leo. I love bright colors. Teal and yellow are my two favorite colors, obviously.
Allison DeFelice likes colorful, pretty things.
It was all kind of pieced, yeah.
Her Delray Beach home showcases her love of teal and the beach life.
This is the big room, yeah.
But it's through these doors
Welcome to my candle room.
that her most prized possessions are carefully displayed.
Blueberry pie. And this is how it all started because I had bought 3 or 4 of them, and then I went back to buy more, and they were all gone. And so then I went into the deep, dark internet looking for it, and then I started to go down the rabbit hole, and that was the beginning of the end, I guess.
She scored big during Candle Day. These pictures on social media show the haul and her reluctant helper.
And so she took a picture and I'm making a face.
Fiance Andrew.
Every time I'm putting another thing, I'm like...
They purchased more than 200 candles.
From here over is just Candle Day.
In 48 hours.
We were the first people online. And not only did she want 1 or 2, she wanted multiples because they were already rare, if you would.
Well, yeah, they brought back some that they had already got rid of earlier in the year.
The first store we probably bought...
It was 66 at Boca.
Allison and Andrew made several stops that weekend.
Into the Night was at the top of my list. Wine Cellier, which I didn't get any. This is fresh bamboo. It smells like bamboo.
If you don't understand the candle craze,
There are thousands of people like me.
She's in like 3, 4 Facebook groups.
Each one
Right.
proud to post their Bath & Body Works candle collections.
Some of the rare ones that I look for, I'll trade with other people.
To Allison,
This one?
it's not an obsession,
These are just like ones that I like the smells of, so I had them going.
but a hobby.
Some of them I give as gifts. I'm growing value, and then someday somebody will be looking for it and ask me if I have extras, and sure, I do.
Yeah, it smells good. Can't complain.
Andrew says it's no different than the baseball card collection he had as a kid.
It makes her happy. That's what it's about.
And in return for carrying her candles and being a good sport,
I book our tea times. I get us tickets to the Honda Classic. I buy all his golf gear.
Allison is right there to support her fiance's
having fun
passion for golf.
It's candles, exactly. Could be worse.
Almost everywhere you look, decorations are sprinkled on the grass, strung from light poles, and Town Square in Belgrade has been transformed into a winter wonderland.
It's pretty cool.
The city's Christmas tree has officially been lit, and for the very first time,
It's been a joy for us, and to see these kids smile like they are. You should have seen last night. Wow.
Belgrade has built an ice skating rink to help put everyone
I'm having the best time of my life.
in the Christmas spirit,
Having a chance to do this is really cool.
and to give kids like Dariah McFarland
Hello.
the opportunity to try something
A
different.
lot of times they tell us, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner, we need more activities in the Glades, and we're trying to find those activities. Trying to find things that they really like.
On Monday, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders from Rosenwald Elementary getting the chance to glide across the rink after winning a Math Brain Bowl competition.
We offered every principal in the Glades region an opportunity to have their kids come here this week. We need to do more of this.
A unique opportunity now being offered for everyone over the next 2 weeks to keep things popping in the Glades.
Thank you.
And to provide students and families the ability to grow.
When our babies are happy, we're happy.
We won't really get a chance to ice skate in Florida since it's like a hot type of state. So I feel like this can really go to the Christmas spirit.
In Belgrade, Ryan Hughes, WPTV News Channel 5.